Hello and welcome again to another episode of the Long Gone Loser Rock Show. Today we're going to talk about one of the most influential singers of heavy metal of all time. I'm talking about Ozzy Osbourne. Where do you even start with Ozzy Osbourne? The guy has had such an incredible career, and not only as being the vocalist of Black Sabbath, but also a hugely influential solo career. I don't have a lot of his records, but I do have a bunch of CDs as well. But in a box under the bed, no idea where they are. But anyway, I do have some records to show you. But first of all, how did I discover Ozzy? Well, my brother is a little bit older, so I remember him bringing home the album Randy Rhoads Tribute. He got it from the library or something like that, and the video for Crazy Train would be played on Rage. And that video, oh my God, like that just blew my mind. The guitar riff in that dun 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 dun, it's so good. It's like the equivalent of the metalheads' Stairway to Heaven when they go into a guitar store and they got to sit down and play a guitar, and that's usually the riff that they'll play. Or it's Metallica or something like that. But anyway, that song was always on Rage, and I just remember being so into it. And this must have been around 87, 88. So I would say that I was a little bit late to the party on Ozzy because, he'd been around for so long. But that's just how it is when you're a young kid. You don't know everything, and you have to wait till somebody shows it to you. So my brother, who was a little bit older, got into heavy metal, and I mean, as did I, but Ozzy was just one of those people I was just a little bit late to. But hearing Crazy Train just totally made me a diehard fan. And by saying diehard, I don't mean that I've gone out and bought every record that he's done, because that would be a lie. He's done a lot, and there's just a bunch I just don't have. Ozzy, I've seen him live one time solo, but I've seen Black Sabbath twice. So there is a ticket, the 15th of March 2008, and I just moved to Melbourne not long before, and I remember when I was sitting in Adelaide, my friend Poodle rang me up and said, "Hey, Ozzy's coming to town, do you want me to get you a ticket?" And I said, "Yes, please." And so he picked me up a ticket. Now this show was insane. I remember that night vividly because right at the end of the show, Zakk Wylde was doing the solo of one of the songs, probably Paranoid or whatever it was. And he had some new prototype of his guitar that he was playing. And he threw the guitar into the audience. And I just saw the whole crowd just rush for it. And the stories I heard were that the person that got it, that was holding it and hugging it like this, and the crowd was just literally beating the shit out of him, trying to get this guitar off him. That was just insanity. And I was at the front of the stage, and I just felt like the pressure that was, because you're being pushed up against a barrier, the pressure just disappeared. Because everyone just ran for this guitar. I mean, only one person can get it, so I don't know why, 5,000 people or whatever were running to try and get this guitar. It just seemed ludicrous. But yeah, it reminded me of when I was in Japan and Ginger, the Wild Hearts were playing, and Ginger told this story about how he threw his guitar into the audience, and then he said "Oh my God, what have I done? The audience is going to be killing each other to get a hold of it." He turned around, he saw two hands on the neck, and they were doing rock, paper, and scissors to see who gets the guitar. And that's the way it should be, my friends. None of this violence at shows. Violence at shows is silly. Beating somebody up because you want that guitar that they caught, dumb. Anyway, apparently, from what I heard is that people saw the person who actually got the guitar with blood pouring out of his face, and he only had the neck, or something, the guitar was broken. So it was useless anyway. This is just what I heard. Obviously, I was too busy because I was at the front of the stage, so watching Ozzy play. And I was more interested in that than trying to get a guitar that I was, throwing way far away from me. The show was great. Ozzy sang great. The band played great. It was awesome. And I remember earlier that day, I actually went out to lunch with Zakk Wylde and did an interview with him. And that is one of the greatest moments of interviewing that I ever did, because I remember getting there It was at the Hyatt in Melbourne here, and I walked in, and he was at the table with a Gibson Les Paul. Like, he carries his guitar with him at all times. It was awesome. And I remember what happened at the start of that was that he sits, we sit down at the table, and his food gets delivered, which was like a chicken Caesar salad or something like that. And he asked me if I wanted a beer, and I said, no, I don't drink. And he goes, oh, on the job or in general? And I said, oh, well, I'm actually straight edge. And he just leant back in his chair and folded his arms. And I thought, oh my God, I'm going to get the 3rd degree about not drinking from Zakk Wylde. And he said, straight edge, huh? And I said, yeah. And he goes, that's fucking cool. And I was like, oh, wow. He then went on to tell me some really cool stories about life on the road and stuff, and why he was interested in using drugs and stuff like that, which is, really interesting to hear him talk about. And then, as we all know now, Zakk doesn't drink either. So, like, he's now full sober. So, congratulations, Zakk. I don't know how many years it's been now, but, congratulations on your sobriety. But man, like, that was such a cool day. He was the nicest dude, and he told me so many great stories. I had like a page of questions written to ask him. I think I asked 2, and the rest was just storytelling, and we were going on tangents and stuff and talking about it. It was incredible. I love that conversation. It was such a good day. And then we snapped a photo, he gave me a guitar pick, and then I left. And he was really cool. It was one of the best 45 minutes of my life in my interviewing days. It was really, really cool. Top dude. And he signed a photo for me. If I can find that photo, it'll be on the screen now. If I can't find that photo, you're not seeing it. But it should be in a frame somewhere, and it's not. I don't know why. I don't put these things in frames. I really got to get around to doing that. But anyway, very, very cool. So, Ozzy Osbourne. I know where I got all these records too. No Rest for the Wicked. Big Star Records. Adelaide. It was like $10. And I love this record. I really do. Well, what's in here? There's stuff in here. Like I said, I always put things inside the covers. Oh, yeah. This is some Japanese flyers I found when I was in Japan on the floor. So I picked them up just because they looked cool. I don't know what it's for. Is it for a show or for... I know it's for like the release of God Bless Ozzy Osbourne. Like a deluxe edition thing or whatever. But there you go. I got some of those. And what's this thing? Maybe this is like the review or something from the show. Yeah, it's a newspaper article. So there we go. That's pretty cool. So No Rest for the Wicked. I remember hearing Miracle Man for the first time and just being blown away by that guitar riff. That's so fucking cool. And yeah, I loved it. Absolutely loved that guitar riff. Loved the guitar work in this whole record, actually. I know it's full of pinch harmonics, which people seem to have issues with. I don't know. I think it's awesome. I really, really like this record. I think it's just great guitar tone. Really good guitar tone. And yeah, on the inside, you got all the lyrics. And then on the other side, you got these photos and stuff like that. And then you've got, here's the vinyl. There you go, Epic Records. Randy Castillo, fucking amazing drummer. Zakk Wylde, obviously, and Ozzy, and Bob Daisley. Fucking great record. Really, really good record. But you would already know that because it's Ozzy. This is cool. Now, this one means a lot to me because this is a Japanese pressing of The Ultimate Sin. Now, the reason why this one is special to me, and I have talked about this on my Instagram page, is that I have a friend in Japan, and her name is Mickey, and she's one of the coolest people I know. Like, she's a great friend, and I love her to bits. And every time I'm in Japan, we go out for dinner, or we just catch up and stuff like that. And she said that her father had passed away, and there were all these records there that were his, and so she wanted me to have them, being that she knew I was into rock and metal, and I was also a vinyl nerd. So she got them to me, and this was one of them. Now, this is mint, mint condition. And I didn't have this record. I just, I'd never even heard it. I mean, I knew Lightning Strikes, obviously, because the video was always on Rage. But that was pretty much all that I knew about it. And so, I don't know why I never got to this one earlier. But anyway, she sent me this record. And so that's why it means a lot to me, because it was her father's. And, she figured that, once her father passed, that she wanted me to have his record collection. And so she sent me a bunch of stuff, and there was like Loudness, Magnum 44, Camel, Journey, Foreigner, some other bands, I can't remember. Inside you've got this inner sleeve insert thing. So you got that there, and then on this side you've got the lyrics there. And yeah, it's just, this record rules. I love this record to bits. It's such a good album, and not just because Mickey gave it to me. It really is a good record. This one I got off my brother. My brother went through this phase where he was selling off all his records, and so I bought shitloads of them. And this is like a 2-for-1, what they call 2-for-1 price. And it was, yeah, Blizzard of Oz and Diary of a Madman on this gatefold thing. And so it's 2 LPs. And so I bought it off him because I didn't have these 2 records, and I love these 2 records. So I was stoked to get it. Although I will say, you know, and as much as I love like Crazy Train on this doesn't sound as good as the live version once you've heard the live version first. Like, I don't know why. I think it's just a little bit slower, and you know, the guitar isn't as beefed up. I mean, it's still great. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you know, they're great records. There's no doubt about it. They're really fucking good records. I don't know. What a great song. Love that song. But yeah, just, I don't know. I love Randy Rhoads tribute so much that it's kind of hard to top that. You know what I mean? Like, it's really fucking hard to top that album because it's just how good it is. But anyway, yeah, these 2 records rule. Now, here it is. The Randy Rhoads tribute. This is the last LP that I have of his. And like I said, the others I've got on CD. But I bought this on Burger Records for $12. And I was stoked to get it because I didn't have it. And, you know, I walked in, they had it. And I was finally like, yes, I can find this. And it was cheap. It was fucking cheap. So this record, I've told the story plenty of times before that in 1988, I discovered Venom by having this on tape. Because I went to Sky Show in 1988, and the only cassette I had was Randy Rhoads tribute in my you know, tape recorder thing that we took to the Sky Show, and I taped over the D song that's on the end here. I taped over that with Buried Alive from the people that were sitting next to me, because they were playing Venom on their boombox, and I was like, "Who's this?" And they said, "Oh, it's Venom." And I said, "Oh my God, can you please tape me They had a tape-to-tape deck one, and I said, you know, could you please tape me the best Venom song, because I need to be into this band. And they taped it for me, and yeah, I taped over D, because that's what was on the tape, the last song. And I thought, well, fuck it, go over that. And yeah, I got into Venom that night. In January 26, 1988 was the day I discovered Venom, and they are my favorite metal band of all time. I think when I did the Venom video, I think I said it was 87, but that couldn't have been because this came out in 87. So it had to have been 88. So, yeah. But anyway, Randy Rhoads tribute. I will go on tape to say that this has possibly the greatest guitar tone I've ever heard. Randy Rhoads had an amazing guitar tone. Like, it really was incredible. This record, man, what a guitar tone. Like, I don't hear it talked about, though. Like, people don't go, oh, what a great guitar tone he had. But, like, am I alone in thinking that the guitar tone in this is one of the greatest guitar tones ever put to tape? Like, am I alone in thinking that? But anyway, fantastic record. Love the playing on it. And there's your gatefold. The one thing I do love about Randy Rhoads playing on this is that, you know, there were no 2 guitarists in, you know, Ozzy's band. It was just one guitarist and a bassist. And the magic of Randy Rhoads was that he was able to fill all that space. Eddie Van Halen does the same thing, where he fills the space out. You know, he plays so many solos and stuff, but he fills the space out. And to me, that's amazing how he does that. And, you know, Randy Rhoads was exactly the same. He had so much space there to fill, and he just did it, and was just such an amazing guitar player that, you know, it sounds like there's 2 guitarists, even though there's only one. You know, he's a genius at doing that. But yeah, this record rules. There's the back of it with Ozzy's letter about Randy. What an album, hey? So good. If you ever see Dead City Ruins play, the singer's got this tattooed on his stomach. It's pretty cool. But yeah, shout out to Dead City Ruins. Fucking awesome. Awesome, awesome record. That's my LP collection of Ozzy Osbourne records. The last thing I do have is a 7-inch here of Believe Alive. And this was like a record store day release. And it's got Goodbye to Romance on the other side. Now, yes, it's on this awesome Randy Rhoads polka dots, which if you knew about his Flying V, he had the polka dot Flying V. So I think that's kind of cool. So there you go. Pretty rad. So yeah, I found it in Sacramento. And it was like in a bargain bin or something like that with like a clearance. And so it was $5 in Sacramento from, what are they called? There's a chain of them. Is it, what's that chain called? Dimples? Dimples. Is it Dimples? Is that the name of the place in Sacramento? Anyway, it was at that comic book record store. They got a big record store on one side, then you go next door and it's like comic and bookstore with some more records down the back. That place, that's where I got it from. And yeah, I was stoked. It's number 2,593. Anyway, that is my Ozzy collection on vinyl. But yeah, amazing singer, fantastic artist, very influential to heavy metal and to rock and roll and whatever. And yeah, love it. Well, thank you very much for taking this journey with me into my very small collection of Ozzy Osbourne vinyl. But, you know, it's all incredible. The guy's amazing. Oh, I have Bark at the Moon. Where the fuck is my Bark at the Moon record? Okay, I have Bark at the Moon, and it's around here somewhere, and I don't know where it is. But it's on blue vinyl or something. It's got a poster as well. It was a record store day release. Just came out not long ago. Where the fuck is that? I don't know where I've put it. It wasn't in the Aussie section. It's around here somewhere. I'll probably find it and it'll probably be in the thumbnail to this video. Look after yourselves, guys. Take care of each other. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.